When I was about 17 years old, a guy asked me if I had a cocaine habit, and when I asked him why, he said it was because I had huge nostrils. Guess who has a huge nostril complex about 30 plus years later? Yep. Hey everybody, it's Dan, and it's Dan Martin Likes You, and welcome back. And I have my reading glasses on, you'll notice, because today I'm doing the Ruler of Books tag, and I had to print up the questions, so I gotta read them. I was tagged by Rio at Rio Reads. Thank you, Rio. This is about 2 months too late. And this tag I think is well over, but I'm gonna do it anyway because I kind of like this tag. Question number 1, here we go. What book would you make everyone read? Okay, this is not an easy question to answer. There are so many books that I would want someone to read, so I'm just gonna pick one from one this year that I read that I think was eye-opening and everyone should read, and that is Being Mortal by Atul Gawande. This is a sobering and fascinating book that looks into the healthcare system as it pertains to getting older in America. It raises a lot of questions that we don't like to talk about. We're very uncomfortable when we get into the issue of health and healthcare and who pays for it. And as you get older, it's not something we like to discuss. Like, what happens if we get Alzheimer's disease? What happens if we become invalid for some other reason? What happens if you get hurt on the job and you're bedridden for the rest of your life? These are all, and what happens in just natural aging when you can no longer do the things that you used to be able to do? What does that mean? In America, we tend to throw people into nursing homes. I made that sound a little callous, but it is something that we do. People get older and we go, well, off to the nursing home, or if they're terminal, we go, well, got to get hospice care. And this book dives deep into what that really means. And it's really a wake-up call. It's like a little alarm call of a book to let you know that you should be thinking about this for yourself, not for just your family members, but yourself. Like, you should have a will set up with specific instructions of what happens if A, B, and C unfolds. And I think it's absolutely important, mostly because of the financial burden that getting older means to people in this country and who gets shelved with the bills. That is a big part of it, and that's not something to be taken lightly. Question number 2. What would you abolish in book construction? Okay, I've thought about this. There are a few things that bother me about modern book construction, but the one that bothers me the most is one that pertains specifically to self-published books. Let me explain. I'm gonna pull out a book that I bought this year. This is a town called Pandemonium. It was recommended by a booktuber, and anyway, I bought it, and you can always tell a self-published book. Let me see if I can get this in there. Do you see that barcode? Wait, hold on. I'm gonna do a better job here. There's a barcode, and then this like little printed thing right there, made in the USA, whatever, San Bernardino. That is the tried and true mark of a self-published book. There are many other things that give away a self-published book, but for people who are in this self-publishing business, such as myself, as I've done with my book, it's a mark I wish didn't exist. I don't know why it's there. I've never gotten a good answer from CreateSpace or Ingram Spark as to why that mark exists, why it's needed. It's just ugly, to be quite honest, and I'm probably making more of this than it needs to be, to be honest. It's such a dumb thing to be upset about, but I just want I'm a big advocate for self-publishing, obviously, and I want the quality of self-publishing books to be on par with traditional publishing, and that is one of that's at the top of my list for things that need to go away. Question number 3 is, what author would you commission to write you any book? To be honest, I'm a little confused by this question. Does that mean a biography, or does it mean like just any kind of book you want, ever, just for you? This year I've read 2 books by Paul Beatty. He wrote The Sellout and White Boy Shuffle. And he is a master of poetic satire, and that style of writing just really speaks to me. I just love it. I guess I would want to hire Paul Beatty. I just think he's so funny. Question number 4, what book would you demote to the library basement to make room for new books? Romance. The entire genre of romance can go away. Question number 5, what cover artist would you commission to make a mural? I'm just gonna go with the one that made my cover because I think he's awesome. That cover, I just love this cover so much. Obviously I'm biased because it's mine. I just think that cover is amazing. I just love what he did there. His name is Ben Walker Story, and his website is Ben Walker Art, and I will leave a link in the description below. This is the only book he's ever done, as far as I know. He does a lot of tour posters for comedians, and they're just incredible. His artwork is amazing, so I would love to see a mural done by him. Number 6, what character's face would you put on a coin? I'm gonna go with Behemoth, who is the large black cat from The Master and Margarita by Mikhail Bulgakov. I hope I pronounced that name right. I always get the names wrong of the Russian authors. Behemoth, if you haven't read The Master and Margarita, by the way, side note, my favorite book of all time. But if you haven't read it, Behemoth is this massive black cat. He is one of Satan's buddies who comes down into Moscow and creates mayhem on the citizens of Moscow. And he is hilarious and selfish and petulant and sensitive. And I would have that coin. Okay, so this last question, number 7, is what book would you award the Ruler of Books 2016 prize to? There are not that many books this year that I've read that I've like out and out loved. There were 3 books, but I'm gonna give the award to The Sellout from Paul Beatty, which I've already mentioned earlier. And it's completely subjective to me because it's the kind of book that I love. It's funny, it's important, it has a message, and it's written with such beautiful language and such poetry. It just ticks all the boxes for me. Okay, so that's it. That is my Ruler of Books tag. I'm not gonna tag anybody specifically, only because I think everyone has done this tag but me. So for those who haven't done it, feel free to do it. It's a fun tag. Please feel free to leave a comment below. Let me know what you thought of these questions or what your answers would have been to this question. Also, I've never like promoted any of my social handles, but you can find me on Twitter at Dan W. Martin, or on Instagram, you can find me at Dan Martin Likes You. So I will leave those below, as I always do. I just never point them out, but they're there. If you want to find me, connect, hang out, talk, whatever, we can do that. We could swap brownie recipes, and not the funny kind. All right, that's it. I'll talk to you guys next weekend. Later.